Good morning, students. In my last two videos, I explained the chapter. My dear student, if anything is missing, if anything is not taught, that will come in a question answer. Again, I will explain in deep sense. Okay. More or less, I have completed the chapter, and today I am going to discuss with question answer. If any point is missed out, that I will explain during this question answer time. Okay. Now, my first question is, when did the Constitution Committee start its work? Okay, I already said before we became independent, the Constitution Committee was formed and they have started their work drafting Constitution. Okay, so the Constitution Committee started its work on 9th December 1946. Got it? So before the independence, we became independent on 15 August 1947, and before that, the Constitution Committee had already started their work to framing, drafting the Constitution. Okay, so the Constitution Committee started their work on 9th December 1946. Okay, when was the Constitution of India enforced? Okay, when we started to follow our constitution, enforced, that is called enforced. Okay, when was the Constitution of India enforced? Okay, ક્યારે અમલમાં આવ્યું? Okay, in ગુજરાતી વિશે આપણું બંધારણ ક્યારે અમલમાં આવ્યું? When we started to follow our constitution. My dear student, the Constitution of India was enforced on 26 January 1950. During explanation time, I said why we have taken the date 26 January. Okay, because many dates were there. Okay, 30 January Martyr Day was there, because in 1948, 30 January, Gandhiji was killed by Nathuram Godse. We did not take that date. We did not take Uttarayan 14 January, but we took this date 26 January. Why? Because in 1930 we unfurled the flag first time for the complete independence, and in order to give respect to that day, we have taken 26 January as a Republic Day. So our constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. Got it? Who was elected president of the Constitution Committee? I already said that Constitution Drafting Committee, they have taken Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the president, okay, of the Constitution Committee. The answer is written. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected president of the Constitution Committee, and we know many scholars were there, many persons were there to draft the Constitution. Okay, next question is, who represented the Anglo-Indians in the Constitution Committee? When I explained the chapter, I said Frank Anthony. Who was the person? Frank Anthony. So answer, Frank Anthony represented the Anglo-Indians in the Constitution Committee. So who was the person? Frank Anthony. Okay, my dear student, I said in order to represent different communities, females, we have taken some female leaders and some other communities also. Okay, so each and everyone will get equal balance. Okay, no one will get more important or less important, because according to the Constitution we all are equal. Okay, now next question is, who represented the Parsis in the Constitution Committee? When the Constitution Committee, when they were drafting, okay, they have taken Frank Anthony as the representative of Anglo-Indian. Now for the Parsi community, they have taken H.P. Modi. Okay, H.P. Modi represented the Parsis in the Constitution Committee. Once again, I would like to suggest Frank Anthony for the Anglo-Indian, H.P. Modi for the Parsis community. Okay, next question, who were the chief female members in the Constitution Committee? My dear student, Sarojini Naidu, she played a vital role, big role, in order to make India free. Okay, she was very close to our leader, father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So here Sarojini Naidu and Vijayalakshmi Pandit, The female members who were they? Sarojini Naidu and Vijayalakshmi Pandit were the chief female members in the Constitution Committee. Once again, I repeat, my dear student, who was the president? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Who was the representative of Anglo-Indian? Frank Anthony. Who was the representative of Parsi community? H.P. Modi. And who were the chief female members? So Sarojini Naidu and Vijayalakshmi Pandit were the chief female members in the Constitution Committee. Now, my dear student, next question is, under whose chairmanship was the drafting committee formed? We know Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the president, but who was the chairman? So chairman was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B. Rao Ambedkar. Okay. So the drafting committee was formed under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, Dr. B. Rao Ambedkar. My dear student, nowadays a serial is going on. Okay, you may be watching this serial, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And he had a good knowledge about our law. Okay, Qaida. Okay. So here the drafting committee was formed under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Next question. When did the Constitution Committee pass the Constitution? My dear student, the committee started their work on 9 December 1946. The Constitution was enforced on 26 January 1950. But when they passed on 26 November 1949. 26 November 1949. The Constitution Committee passed the Constitution on 26 November 1949, and after 2 months, means 26 January, it was enforced 1950. Got it? So once again, the committee started their work on 9 December 1946, before independence. The committee passed the Constitution 26 November 1949, and the Constitution was enforced on 26 January 1950. Remember the dates. Okay, my dear student, this question you will already learned when you are in standard 6, you were in standard 7 also, and today in standard 8. Okay, at what age can an Indian citizen get universal franchise? We become adult. Okay, yes, correct. When we become 18 years old, we can get a universal franchise. Okay, the Indian citizen gets universal franchise as soon as he or she completes her or his 18 years, means becomes adult. My dear student, when you become adult, you will be given many rights. Okay, so you have to wait till 18 years. Okay, so the Indian citizen gains universal franchise as soon as he or she completes or becomes 18 years old. Next question is, what is India's point of view as far as religion is concerned? Okay, we know many countries they have their national religion, but India, they do not have Hindu as a main religion. Though followers of Hindus are many, but we haven't taken Hinduism is our main religion. Okay, here India is a secular country. Why it is given secular country? Because many religions started in India: Buddhism, Jainism, then Sikhism, Hinduism. My dear student, here I would like to say, though the Buddhism started in India, still it is spreaded in many countries like China, Japan, okay, Thailand, like that. Many countries, they have taken both religion as a main religion, okay, national religion. My dear student, when we consider about some other countries, okay, they have maybe Muslim as a main country, main religion, Christian as a main religion. But in India is totally different, my dear student. In India, all are equal, all are equal. That's why we haven't taken any religion as a main religion, okay. Though the 85, more than 85% people they follow Hindu religion, still we have considered as a India as a secular country. That's why I have written answer. India is a secular country as far as religion is concerned, okay. So here each and every person is equal, no one is higher, no one is lower when we consider about religion, okay. Next question, what do you mean by secular nation? Just I use the word secular, so you will think what is the meaning of secular, my dear student. Secular means, yeah, secular nation means a nation whose rule, a nation whose rule is not founded on any faith or sect. Means we are not following one particular religion, okay. It is written a nation whose rules and regulation is not founded, is not based on any sect or faith or religion, okay. Here each and every religion is equal, and where citizens are free to follow the religion according to their choice. That is why it is called secular nation. What is we do not have one particular main religion. Here we are totally free to follow whatever religion we like, okay. My dear student, we know bandit queen Phulan Devi. I think you don't know much about Phulan Devi, but Phulan Devi was a bandit queen, means a daku, okay. My dear student, after when she surrendered everything, okay, she went to jail, and after that she followed Buddhism, my dear student, okay. Her earlier life was not good, but later on she changed her life. She changed her life and she followed Buddhism, my dear student. We can say Buddhism and Jainism. These religions, they don't allow killing. They don't allow killing. My dear student, we can say here in India we have the follower of Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Muslimism, Parsis, Christianity, but still all are equal, and not one particular importance is given to one particular sect, okay. So secular nation means a nation whose rule is not founded on any faith or sect or religion, and where citizens are free to follow the religion of their choice, okay. And last question, what do you mean by republic government? My dear student, it is one of the more salient feature, okay. We are called republic nation. What does it mean? My dear student, republic government means a government that obtains power, a government that obtains power directly or indirectly, from people. It means when there is an election of Vidhan Sabha or Lok Sabha, we vote. We vote for our representative. We vote for representative in the elections of Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha. But for the election of Rajya Sabha, we don't vote. That is called indirect. When we consider about direct election, we can consider Vidhan Sabha elections of Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha. But when we consider about Rajya Sabha, we do not vote. For the election of president, we don't vote. At that time, that is called indirect. That is called, because the representative whom we have elected, they vote for the Rajya Sabha and the president. So that's why they are called indirect. Okay. So the republic government means a government that obtains power directly or indirectly from the people. Got it? Thank you.